What's up, everybody? Jerry with Dipping Up Trading, back for another video. Going to be talking about Ater Incorporated, or ticker symbol ATER. But before we get started, please don't forget to hit that like, that subscribe button down at the bottom of the screen. Helps out the channel, helps spread the content to the rest of the community. Just helps out the algorithm for people that are searching for content like this. But yeah, let's get this thing going today. So first off, let me pull up Aterian. There we go. All right, so Aterian on the day finished down 12.4%, down $1.41 on the day. Finished the intraday at $9.96, and then also finished the after hours down another 28 cents, 2.81%, and finished at $9.68 respectively on the day today. So a lot of people are probably thinking, are you worried? Hell no, I'm not worried. And these zones should be indicative and should validate this as such. So the zone locations are still very much in play, and you guys can see where I drew these arrows, but the size of the zones will vary depending on how long the play could go, because there is still unpredictability in the market. Even though we are watching these trends play out and these patterns play out, they could change on a whim. Especially with the fact that, for instance, the entire market was pretty much down all day today, or if there was a catalyst regarding the economy as a whole, that could play a substantial piece in why we trended down further, or whatever the case is. But even still, I don't think Ethereum is done by any means necessary. I'm still in it. I'm actually down. With where I'm right now, I'm still continuing to average myself down, but I think last I saw I'm down like 15% from what I was previous. So still down, and I'm sure anyone that has an average above $10 is also down too. So I'm right there with you, but I'm still increasing my position, increasing my cost basis while lowering my average dollar cost, which is what you should be doing as well. I do think we do have a little bit of bullish divergence at the end of the day. So right around here was where the stock was starting to correct and start to trend back up. We are in oversold territory. So ideally, again, following the same pattern here, if we could follow and break this and start with the consolidation phase and establish that support, or just validate that support, even if we drop down to $9.10 where it dipped down to last time before we ran up to $18.76, that's proof enough for me. I mean, that's basically us forming a double bottom, which would be phenomenal because that's a bullish indicator, right? So a double bottom, or a George W as some like to call it. So you have a peak, or inverted head and shoulders. Peak, right? Shoulder, shoulder. Okay, now this one's kind of a funky looking one, but even still, it could still form and establish that double bottom and continue upwards. And that's from more of a macro perspective. I mean, that would basically take us from the start of this would be from the 13th. So we're talking a 17-day swing, right? Which would be pretty profound. I mean, I think the move on that, especially if we break through all these levels of resistance, would be phenomenal. But I still think we are very much in play with the potential squeeze here. Honestly, I think Ethereum, in my own opinion, again, this is my opinion, I think it's a $30 stock. Just based on what I've seen, based on where the numbers and how quickly this thing can run up just on a whim. I mean, this is just based on short interest play. This isn't even based on earnings or anything like that. And we're still running up to 19 bucks, almost 20 bucks. Come on. I mean, this thing can easily run to 30 and or more. So definitely still in play. Volume on the day was low. It was pretty much it was under the average. So the average volume that we typically see over the last 3 months is 21.86 million. We were just under 18 million on the day. So volume wasn't even really there either. So I mean, there's a lot of things that still need to play out. I still think we need to see this MACD indicator converge across that signal line, and we need to see this RSI start to trend back up into bullish territory for us to get that momentum swing that we need. Jumping over to ORTEX real quick. So from my video earlier that I did kind of in the middle of the day, not really that big of a drastic change in terms of the short interest Utilization is currently at 96.26%. Cost to borrow currently, now this is from this is currently and then from 7 days ago. So we went from 121.87 days ago to 148% here recently, and then days to cover is up 1.69% at 0.81. Shares on loan is up almost 18%, 17.27 million. The free float, percent of free float on loan is up almost 18% there. So up almost to 59.29%. The estimated short interest of the free float is still down 32% there. Exchange reported short interest is up 12.46%, currently at 7.5 million. Now the short interest change on the day, we were positive 2.59%. We had 595,000 returned shares versus 1.04 million borrowed against, for a net borrow change of 400. Let's call it just 450,000 that were net borrow, so borrowed against Ethereum today. Now again, just because they're borrowing those shares doesn't necessarily mean that they are immediately shorting them into the market. They could be saving them for all one simultaneous attack and just boom, 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 hit us. Which it kind of looked like that's how it was over the last couple of days. I mean, we pretty much looked like we were stair-stepping down. Let me go to the 30-minute. Yeah, I mean, so like here, peak, stair-step, 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 stair-step. Okay, so this right here, in my opinion, it's typically not natural price action. So like this stuff here that you see, anytime you see all these red candles and how we're being stair-stepped down, even with buyers stepping back in, it's manipulation. It's nothing but that. So I honestly believe that we were manipulated today. It was really following. If you look, compare today's chart to AMC, GameStop, let's see, what else was heavily shorted? BBIG, a lot of those stocks, Microvision, a lot of those stocks were following very similar trends and patterns on the intraday today, which is kind of alarming, because a lot of those heavily shorted stocks were all following that same technical pattern, which is kind of interesting. So definitely keep an eye on this. It's not done. Ideally, we'd like to see this 15 MA. It is currently trading above, let's see. It is currently trading above the VWAP, which is good. Now, again, this is based on where it is in terms of the after hours, but ideally I'd like to see us get up over that 200 EMA. Getting up over that 200 EMA will get us back into bullish territory in terms of comparison with the long run of the play itself. On the daily, I believe we're still, on the daily we need to get back over it as well. Okay, so keep an eye on it. It's not done by any means. I don't think, not to quote other people that are other YouTubers, but this is not a dead cat. There's way too much potential on the table for this thing. I mean, look, we have bullish divergence right here. So look, check this out. So we have, notice how we're trading sideways, but look at the RSI. Okay, MACD is converged. So I think we're in the start of either that consolidation phase with a potential reversal heading up. But again, nothing is guaranteed. Please keep that in mind. None of this is financial advice. I do this strictly for entertainment purposes only. So please trade at your own risk, and do not trade or get into positions just because I am. Okay. But other than that, that'll wrap this up. I'm going to be dropping another one for Camber Incorporated, and then I should be dropping another one for BBIG right after this. So I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.